Girish, Sip Tina, Sip Sudeep, Sip Vinita, Sip Bliss, Sip Chotwani, Sip Bliko, Sip Rumataji, Sip Sagai, Sip Ranjana, Sip Karan, Sip Anand Swami, Sip Krishna, Sip Pankaj, Sip Vanita, Sip Paratiyama, and there are many people who are still joining the call, but we have started the call slightly earlier. So we have made it a point that we don't want to start the call after 8:01. I hope we will maintain starting the call slightly earlier. So the first subject is, anybody has questions? Krishna has put her hand up other than the topic. So, and either we will answer the questions immediately or we will answer the question later. But first, Veena, so first Krishna, and then Suvinay, whether you will have any question other than the main topic. Krishna.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, in an earlier call, you said questions come only from the mind, right? And if we are in the consciousness state, you will find your own answers. You said that.
No, I don't remember this. When I said this, how can questions comes only from the mind?
आपने बोला था call में. When that ask questions वाला session में, you said if you can log into your consciousness, आपको मेरे साथ पूछने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा.
Huh, but what you're saying is slightly different. See, questions will come from thought.
Okay.
And thought can come from the mind also. There are thoughts of the mind, and thought can come from the intellect also. Right. So why correct me, are you understanding right or wrong? Cannot the intellect ask a question? So I think there's some misunderstanding of what I said maybe. So the mind will bombard you. The mind will bombard you so much with thoughts that you will lose to those questions. It will be drilling you and killing you. That's what I always say. So I don't know where I have. So you have any further question to that?
No, so I was thinking I'm getting questions and questions. So sometimes I get so frustrated.
No. It's good to have questions provided. Okay, suppose the question is, ये दाल में कुछ काला क्यों है? ये चावल क्यों ऐसा है? Those are irrelevant questions. But suppose you get questions on God, you get questions on something beautiful, something meaningful, something spiritual. Then what is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong in having questions. What is the problem is having irrelevant questions. So when you have irrelevant questions, tell me, Krishna, where are they coming from?
Mind, yes.
And when you are having relevant questions, Krishna, where are they coming from?
Should be intellect, but yes, because I also heard a term, sir, I'll discuss later on, because then somebody said, if you keep on asking questions, you are doubting the truth. And then you will reach nowhere if you start asking questions like this. And
No, asking relevant questions is okay. There are some people on this call who ask irrelevant questions. We put their hand down. If I feel
one more term I happen to read up, kisi bhi time, please explain Karna, what is the meaning of the dark night of the soul?
The dark night of the soul is the mystical ignorance created by the mind.
Is it an ignorance? But,
of course. How can this? Hello. How long have you been on this call?
I write to you, sir, please.
How long have you been on this call?
3 months. 2 to 3 months.
In 3 months, do you realize, can the soul have a dark night?
No. It means something. I'll write to you, sir. Because I read from Vivekananda's.
As a metaphor, as a figure of speech, it has a different meaning.
Right.
You didn't ask me like that. Again, you asked me what are the...
that dark, I was thinking that metamorphosis part, and they said the Guru will also shun you.
Dark night of the soul sometimes is what in English they say it is the darkest before the dawn. Sometimes before the spark of enlightenment comes, you are tested. You are tested means there is the final test. The dark night of the soul has so many different meanings. But in very direct terms, the soul has no dark night. But yeah, the people use, Shakespeare will say dark night of the soul. And you ask our PhDs, they will tell you, I'm not so educated to tell you, but dark night of the soul is used in so many terminologies.
Right.
Okay, so Vinay. But don't hesitate in asking questions. There's nothing wrong in asking questions. So Vinay,
Guruji, can I add little bit more on Dark Night of the Soul?
later, end of the call.
Okay. Guruji, yesterday I just going through some spiritual quotes. There it was written ki before enlightenment you have to pass through many tests. And one thing was there ki in this world the most people are narcissists. They they are so self-centered, they will drain all your positive energies. So you have to shield yourself, but these people always put a mask on themselves. You cannot recognize them unless and until you lost each and everything. So Guruji, my question is that during before enlightenment you have to pass through all the tests which is destined by God, or what is all that?
There is no test. There is no test. You only have to overcome your ignorance. There is no, God is not here to test us. God has better business. SIP has created a situation. See, we have got our own problems. We have got our own senses, Indriya. We have got our mind. We have got our ego. We have to overcome these. These behave, these are acting like barriers. But in reality, there's no, if you drop your ego, you drop your mind, you drop your senses, then there is the barrier. So we should not believe there are tests and there are barriers. No, you should always believe that it's very easy to be enlightened if I follow the path. Actually, it is very easy. Actually, it is not difficult. Did I tell you about Roger Bannister? Just Google Roger Bannister and the 1 minute mile. Did I tell you about Roger Bannister?
No, Guruji, I don't remember. Maybe
Roger Bannister. I believe he was the first fellow, the 1 minute mile.
4 minute mile.
4 minute mile. When was it? Which year?
1954.
In 1954. So in 1954, nobody could run a mile in 4 minutes. Nobody in the world could run a mile in 4 minutes. In 1954, Roger Bannister ran a mile in 4 minutes. And after that, I think in a matter of 1 month, 30 people ran the mile in 4 minutes. How did it happen to Vinay? Why till 1954, nobody could run the mile. Nobody in the world could run a mile in 4 minutes. And why after Roger Bannister could run the mile, why 20, 30, 40, 50 people have run the mile in 4 minutes?
1,600, 700 in April 2021.
Right now, 1,700 people have run the mile in less than 4 minutes. But Roger Bannister, so if those who can get enlightened must believe it's possible. If you believe it's not possible, you will not get it. Thank you. I was trying to get this data, but I am also learning. Yogita, before the main question, you have another question?
Sir, Guruji, I just want to ask, this is like, if we keep asking the questions, enlightened.
If you keep asking relevant questions and you keep using the answers, you will get enlightened.
You keep using the answer.
Yeah, if you just ask the questions, if you ask the question but you don't use the answer, you ignore the answer, then how will you get enlightened?
Right.
Okay, main question. You should learn. You should learn from the question and answer sessions. Every day is a learning. So today's main subject, before we get started, and I like these few questions other than the main subject. Now we have the main subject for today. And the main subject for today is, what is spirituality? Who would like to attempt? What is spirituality? Rajay, and then we have Krishna, and I think Yogita is also there, Ranjana. Yes, Rajay.
Yes, Shivoham Guruji. As per me, we have to go in search of God or divine or self-realization, whatever it is. That is no, at least we have to go towards that path. So
what is that path?
That we have to leave this material world and go in search of God or divine,
must
whatever
become
we say,
sannyasi.
divine
Must
or
become sannyasi.
enlightenment. There
Must
are
we
so many
become-
ways for it.
Must we become sannyasi?
No, sannyasi. You told without becoming sannyasi, we can get enlightenment.
Absolutely.
So we have to leave this material, not leave, at least we have to not give importance to the material world and go in search of God.
So are you
God or
saying
divine,
spirituality?
whatever we say.
Are you telling me spirituality is equal to search for God?
Yes, to go in that path.
Okay. Which path?
To in search of God. To go
Okay.
in the path to search of God.
Okay. I want to
Way.
see. Imagine after 2.5 years of Zoom call, I'm asking question, what is spirituality? So there must be clarity. What are you talking of the term spirituality every day? But what is spirituality? What? Let me ask. I'm noticing 5 women and no men giving the answers. But after Raji, Yogita. Yes, Yogita.
For me, spirituality means to know the truth.
To know the truth. Okay, good. Good. Next, Krishna. What is spirituality, Krishna?
Yes, sir. So we clearly understand we have got matter plus spirit, the human plus the being. So the being is the essence of us, the truth of us, the reality, the truth. So when we try to discover or when we try to realize that truth, who am I, who is God, who is universe, who is a creator, and then that is taking us to the permanent, what you call the permanent being of ours, which is the nearest to us, and we are always chasing the human aspect, which is going to be lost in this world. So that when we, you once said, when you take that perpendicular path away from the achievements we are chasing outside, we go into the spiritual path and we understand, we realize, we get direct experiences of what we are.
What you say is
And that
correct.
takes us to that eternal happiness.
But I'm asking still in very simple words.
The study
What?
of the spirit, the truth in us, or
Okay,
the discovery or the realization.
Good answer. We have got after Krishna, Ranjana. Ranjana, what is spirituality?
Shivoham Guruji.
Shiva, Ranjana.
Spirituality is realizing that there is a supreme power which creates, maintains, controls, and destroys this whole universe. Spirituality is realizing that there is a greater purpose of human life and not just being born, experiencing pain and pleasures of senses, and ultimately, eventually dying. It is realizing that you cannot, realizing the main purpose of human life, that is attaining moksha, and for which you cannot achieve that by just following religious rituals, but you have to search for the God within, and you have to surrender completely. You have to
आपका आंसर बहुत long हो गया.
Okay.
It's good what you're saying. I picked something from you which is very good, but you did not answer what is spirituality, but you answered what spirituality is not. आपने क्या बोला? What is spirituality is not? आपने बोला. पता है आपने क्या बोला? Spirituality is not religion. ये आपने बोला. Good point. But I'm still asking Bliss, what is spirituality? After Bliss, Vanita, Ashok Nichani, Bliko. Bliss,
Hi,
Vanita,
Shivram.
Shivoham. Yes, my dear.
Welcome, everyone. You can read, please, what I
I
write.
can, of course, read what my dear
Very
Bliss
important.
is saying. Bliss is saying, bonjour, spirituality is when you believe in God, not in some fancy God, but rather in the divine force that is in all. Sip and possible. Okay, not right. What you say is correct, but how to make everybody understand this? Now
When
let
we
us
understand, we have not this, not that, but this.
Neti
Neti,
Neti
neti,
Tattvamasi.
Tattvamasi.
Vanita, what is spirituality, Vanita?
Spirituality is the awakening of the soul to find the ultimate truth and connect with supreme immortal power.
I'm just wondering, I've not explained to you all before. Have I explained? Have I not explained to you all?
About what?
About what is spirituality? I never told you all.
No, I don't remember. I don't think I have.
Maybe in my books I've written. Maybe we have written in the books. Maybe I have not told. Okay, let us see. So you want to say again? What do you
Spirituality is the awakening of the soul to find the ultimate truth and connect with.
So if you don't awaken, then it's not spirituality.
No, we were body and mind. There is no body, mind, and ego. These all we came to know through spirituality.
Very good. Very good. So what you're saying is correct, but I want to give you all answer in fourth standard style.
Okay.
That's how you should then. So that you become a master and you grow on the path faster. Ashok Nichani. I think the master will tell the answer. Yes, sir.
Sure, sir. Spirituality is the path of learning what is God. SIP. What is God? What is SIP? Supreme Immortal Power.
That is what Bliss told. Bliss told spirituality is SIP and Posimom.
And it is the essence of knowing your own being.
But how will you do it?
The essence of knowing what is the universe, my existence, my presence over here. Who am I?
Okay, Master Bliko. Thank you, Ashok. Let's see whether we have got many more masters now on the call. All the men have come on. Though there is no difference in male and female in this spirituality. Bliko.
Shivam, everybody.
Sure, sir.
So spirituality actually is the inquiry or the questions which comes on the mature age about birth, about death, about what is the life, who am I, why I am here, what is after death. So all this inquiry, all to put together, makes the person to go on the path which give you answer, that is spirituality.
What you say is correct. Only it is too long. Rutanu Rajendra. Correct na Bliko? Agar I aapko bolu, Bliko, repeat the same answer, you cannot repeat the same answer. But if I tell repeat magic, you can repeat magic.
Magic, yes.
So I want you all to know it on the tip of your fingers. Like this. And after today, Bliko, if I ask you for the rest of your life, you will know the answer.
Sure,
today,
sure.
what answer I give you, rest of your life, you will not, if I ask what is spirituality, if somebody asks in Canada or they ask in America, you will know the answer. Rutanu.
Shivoham, Guruji.
Shivoham. Where are you in India? You are still in India?
Yeah, in the airport.
Bolo.
The airport. Guruji, when we start seeing SIP in everybody and in oneself also, so that is spirituality.
That is spiritual awakening. That is spiritual awakening. How will you get to that spiritual awakening, Rajendra? Through spirituality. What is spiritual? Can you believe we are struggling on the ABC of the subject?
Sir, spirituality means when one understands what is spirituality, that means he feels that there is something more than what we perceive as human beings.
Correct.
We understand that we are when we understand that we are a part of this whole divine or cosmic nature, what we call God, whatever it is. So there is a real and permanent world beyond our biological and sensory needs, because these biological and sensory needs are driving us to selfishness and mental aggression. I mean, जिससे ego वगैरह develop हो जाती है हमारी. Spiritually involves explaining certain universal themes like love, compassion, care for others, and all that.
Good, but it becomes too long.
Just one small. Spirituality is, sir, is an individual practice or introspection.
After this call is over, you should repeat it that not less than few words. Only few words.
Sorry, sir.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you all. See, I don't want you all to go in the wrong direction.
No.
कभी आप wrong direction में जा रहे हैं, मैं क्या करता हूँ, मैं immediately खींच लेता हूँ. I pull you back. So don't feel bad.
I
Sonia,
understand, sir.
Sonia, I welcome to the call. Is it somebody new? Sonia, please introduce yourself and what is your question, Sonia?
Hi. No, I in fact, wanted to answer, what you were asking.
Very good.
Spirituality to me is, who am I? Who's God? And what is my connection to God?
Correct. Absolutely correct. So what you're saying is absolutely correct, but that is what you learn from spirituality. So Sonia, you're coming with this call for the first time, or you have come before, and how did you join this call? I would like to know.
Yeah. I am coming on this call for the first time. Krishna Didi introduced me to you.
Okay, Krishna from who's on the call today, right?
That's right.
Very good. So you know this call is on every day 8 o'clock, and for those who I forget, it's every Friday 7:30. But tomorrow there is no call. I'm giving a Rotary talk to 100 people, and we'll be having the call on Saturday at 7:30. Tomorrow's call will not be there, but Saturday we'll not have at 8. We'll have at 7:30 because we'll have the Friday talk on thing. So thank you, Sonia, for joining, and to please join us again, Girish and Chidanand and Krishan. Girish, Chidanand, Krishan.
Spirituality is a path of staying inside and not going outside.
Very good. That is exactly what spirituality will create. Spirituality will create a situation. What Sonia just now told, Sonia told exactly same. Who am I? Who is God? She gives you 3. All the answers are correct. But I am surprised, Girish, I have not told you what is spirituality till today.
It is a science of the spirit.
Correct. That is the answer. Why such a long time to answer, to say? Rajendra, what is spirituality? Science of the soul, science of the spirit. There are 2 answers. Science of the soul, science of the spirit. Now, what is the meaning of science? Do you know the meaning of science? The dictionary will tell you, science is the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against evidence obtained. This is a Google definition. What is a science? Science is a systematic study. Spirituality is the systematic study of the spirit, of the soul, of am I the body, am I the mind, am I the ego? Because will you remember forever, spiritual, have I told before or I have not told before? I might have told. Spirituality is the science. It is a science of the spirit. It is not theory. It is not a belief. It is proof. It is absolutely just like there is gravity, which is a proof of a law, which is accepted by science. Why? Because through inference, I throw something up. Why I throw up? Why it comes down? It comes down because science infers. It infers that if there was no gravity, the apple, with thousands of years, hundreds of years, when the apple fell on the head, everybody said, ouch, oh, yeah, oh, apple. But when the apple fell on Newton's head, he didn't say, ouch, ooh, ee. You know what Newton said? Newton said, why? Newton said, why? Why it fell on the head? Why it did not fly in the sky? This is spirituality. Spirituality is a science. Good, Girish. Spirituality is the science of it is the science of the spirit. It is the science. This is, sorry to say, it is not cock and bull stories. The soul is not cock and bull story. Now, if I tell this about any Hindu mythological god, people will come and throw stones on me, right? So we don't want to offend anybody. But our gods and goddesses are mythological. The spirit is not. Therefore, it is very important for us to understand that spirituality, I give you 2 answers. It is the science of the spirit, or it is the science of the soul. both are same. Spirit and soul are two different words for the same thing. So this is crackers for. This is spirituality. People are burning crackers. I'm wondering what is the India won any match? Anybody? Any cricket match is being played? Huh? Okay. So we'll go because only our country is mad like this. Only when cricket match or something, everybody becomes like this. Chidanand, do you have a question? Do you have to say something? Any question, or you are trying to say something similar? Or?
Shivam Guruji, I was trying to say same thing. The word itself has the meaning spirit ritual, and it's a way of scientific. How we have religion, we have dogmas, and you try to just follow some rituals with respect to senses and matter. Here you have to have a disciplined way to deal with the spirits,
So
and you
let
have to
me go
move forward in the science of spirit.
So Chidanand, let's go one step forward. So what is this science of the spirit? Who would like to talk about what is the science? If it is the science of the spirit, we will ask Krishan to speak, and then I want all of you. What is the science of the spirit?
It deals with dealing with subtle body, basically, where
but
you have to deal with
Chidanand.
meditation. There are certain practices.
Chidanand, why are we calling it a science?
Because it's a systematic study.
What is this study? Sonia is there? I want to see whether Sonia is coming for the first time, whether she's understanding this or not. What is this study?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
So Sonia, what is the questions you asked? Sonia, what are the 2-3 questions you asked?
You're talking about, the questions that I asked you earlier.
Yeah. You said 3. Who am I or something, or what did you say?
Yes. I said, spirituality to me is knowing who am I.
Good. So okay. So Sonia, this is exactly, how will you know who am I? Through the system. Do you know, Sonia, how you come to know who am I? Do you know that?
As you have said, there has to be a scientific way of knowing what my actual being is.
So since you're coming for the first day in the call, I'm asking you, do you know the scientific method of finding out who am I?
Not really. I'm reading in this.
No, so I'm giving you the answer. I'm giving you the answer. The scientific method of knowing who am I, Bliko, you know the answer, Bliko? The scientific method, Sonia, of knowing who am I is to know who I am not. When I come to know who I am not, then I come to know who I am. Am I this body? No, this body came later. This body was woven in 9 months in my mother's womb. I came 9 months before. I was conceived in the zygote as a spark of unique life, SOUL. One day I will leave this body. People will say I passed away. So I'm not the body. I have a body. I'm not the body. This is science. The scientific truth that who am I not? I am not the body. The scientific truth of the mind. Sonia, have you seen the mind? Have you ever seen the mind, Sonia? I'm not sure Sonia is there. So if we try to find the mind, means I have seen my nose, I have seen my ears, but I have not seen the mind. Why have you not seen the mind? Mr. Will, have you seen the mind, Mr. Will? Have you ever seen the mind?
I haven't seen the mind.
Have you seen your nose? Have you seen your nose?
I've seen the nose, Swami.
And
yes,
the ear, and the ear.
In a mirror, Swami.
and you've seen the picture of your brain, the scan of your brain or scan of the heart.
Yes, Swami.
But nobody has seen. But nobody has seen the mind. You know why nobody has seen the mind? You know, Will?
There isn't a mind.
Because there is no mind.
No,
the mind is just a bundle of thoughts. Yes, Sonia.
We haven't seen the mind because it's the subtle body in us.
It appears to be the subtle body. You're right. You're 100% right. It appears when a bundle of thoughts come together. It appears. For example, have you ever caught a rainbow? Has anybody been able to catch a rainbow? You can't catch the rainbow. It appears. You can take a picture of it. It can be seen. But the rainbow is an optical illusion. It is the light of the sun splitting through droplets of water. So my dear friends, this is scientific study. Spirituality is the scientific study of the spirit, of the soul. So I have been going here and there. I want to give back the session to you because we have another 10 minutes before we wind up. Anybody would like to ask questions on the scientific, the spirit, that spirituality is the science of the spirit. Are you clear? You have a doubt? You want to do any scientific answer for any question? Suvine.
Guruji, I am audible?
Yes, bolo.
Guruji, the science which we know is physics, chemistry, maths, bio, which we are taught in our schools.
School, correct.
But the science of spirituality is something very mystical or kept secret. What was the reason?
Continue, finish your question first. Yes.
This science of spirituality is so ancient. Even when this science came into existence, our rishis and munis were so much enlightened, and they were very spiritually evolved person. But this knowledge of spirituality and the practice was kept hidden, or is not very popular in our society. What is the reason behind this?
So point number one, people have confused science of spirituality, science of the spirit, with science of religion. We have confused religion to be spirituality, and religion is not scientific. Religion will say Ganapati Bappa Moria. Religion will say when the man of God was walking, the sea separated and he walked across the sea, and they talk of miracles, and people don't want to accept this. This is not scientific. That Hanuman was able to carry the mountain because they told Jari Booty like, go bring one herb. He could not find the herb. He carried the mountain and he came, and everybody wants to accept it. So, okay, you believe in it, but it's not scientific. That is why the science of the spirit has become low, because human beings need God. Human beings are too weak and they need God. And they don't know to pray to SIP. Because they don't know to pray to a supreme immortal power, they need a personal God. They need a God with name and form. They believe in the sun God, the rain God, the moon God, the wind God. And that's how it started thousands of years ago. If you see Surya Bhagwan will be one with rain, with horses and chariot and coming from the sun. But we have all been taught. I prayed to Lord Shiva for 40 years. So very few people want to study the science of the spirit. Now you know the answer. Why? Because we have too many religious leaders. We don't have spiritual leaders. We have got thousands, lakhs of spiritual religious leaders. There are lakhs. You give me 5 spiritual leaders who can explain the science of the spirit in a language a child can understand. तो लोग घूम जाते हैं, लोग बोलते हैं ऐसा हाथ ऐसा करके ऐसे रुद्राक्ष निकल जाएगा. ये रुद्राक्ष निकल, you remove रुद्राक्ष from your hand, you become a super being, you become Superman. You can move it. Why do movies sell? Superman! Put your hand up like this, whee, and you go flying. All the children, yeah. We are also like these children, believing Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Why the movies are billion-dollar movies? We are enamored by these magic shows, fairy tales. We don't want the science, the scientific truth. I hope I've made sense. I hope I've answered your question. Bliko.
So we get the answer in short. The spirituality is SOS, spirit of soul, or spirit.
Science of
spirit or science of soul. SOS.
Good.
So I just made a short form. So now my question is something different. So we have inner voice, which we call voice of divine or connection with the soul, right?
Yeah.
So that voice is always there within everybody, whether they hear it or not.
Yes.
And it is only heard when you are in consciousness and you are connected and you are quiet.
Correct.
Whereas the voice from outside and everywhere, right? The voice from the outer world is so powerful, so powerful that that inner voice is always subside. Whereas in reality, the voice of spirit is more powerful than the outer voice.
Yes, provided you listen to it.
This imbalance.
Provided you, because you're not listening to that voice is very powerful. But the noise of the outside world is too loud.
Too loud, yeah. Why that that strong voice is subsided by the outer voice?
What is the song? I'm forgetting the tune. Navadwar. Navadwar ki ye hai nagari. Dasmay dwar. Dasmay dwar jab khul jayega. Darshan Prabhu ka mil jayega.
Yeah, I got that answer from Kathopanishad also, that because our senses are designed to see outward, right? So we don't see inside.
9 doors, all 9 doors of ours are listening to the noise outside. Where we are not opened the 10th door. Guru Nanak said, open the Dasmay Dwar Kholo. See, it's not, see, Guru Nanak came. Guru Nanak told Dasmay Dwar Kholo. What does everybody think Guru Nanak is God? Buddha came, Buddha told to be awakened, everybody has made statue of Buddha. This is the problem. The problem is we are making saints into God and then we are going far away from God. Who was asking me how to realize God? Was it Sonia? Sonia was asking how do I find out? The only way to find out, to realize God, is to realize the self. It is through self-realization that you reach God realization. But how do you reach that state of self-realization? You reach that state of self-realization, who am I? Scientifically, you have to study who am I not. When you come to know who am I not, then you come to know who I am. When you come to know who I am, then you come to know who God is. Scientific. It is not difficult, my dear friends. It is not difficult. But unfortunately, we have made it difficult because we are not scientifically looking at this subject. We have to get out of the kindergarten of religion. We have to stop rituals. We have to stop dogma. We have to stop saying the word God. How many of you have stopped saying the word God? I don't know. You have to start saying Sip, Lord, Prabhu, anything. But don't, the moment you say the word God, which relates to your personal God, you are going away. You're going away from God. Krishna.
There is a small doubt here, small clarification. The science is only, it is still progressing. It is only a small speck of the spirituality, How can science answer? Science cannot answer many questions which spirituality say, So there are many things we have to assume and believe the masters or the rishis, right? For example, who created the universe? How did it begin? Science still does not have very conclusive answers.
You're talking of general science. We are talking about science of the spirit. Science of the spirit is unknown to the scientists of this world.
That means what you're saying is you need to have a scientific temperament to understand. Okay.
Yes, you have to follow the science. You have to experiment. This science is not science that's what he said, chemistry, biology, physics. This is not that science.
Got it.
The word science means a systematic and scientific study. So you as Krishna have to ask, am I Krishna? No, I'm not Krishna. How am I not Krishna? Because when I was born, I was not Krishna. When was I born? I was not born on this birthday because I was alive. Will I die? Whenever I ask a person a question, will I die? What they say? Of course I will die. Of course. Normally in the planes, when I travel a lot, one of my favorite pastime in the plane is to quiz people. But it's very dangerous because after I quiz them, then they are very confused. Then they look at me like a so they look at me and say, who's this mad guy? Because I tell them your birthday is fake. Then they're not able to digest it. I tell them, they say, who are you? My name is Tanya. I say, sorry, you are not. They say, I'm Tanya. I say, you are not Tanya. They say, what do you mean? I say, your name is Tanya. You are not Tanya. So, you know, scientific study is this: will you die? I will not die. Immediately somebody will say, the body will die and I will leave the body. Who is that I who will leave the body? So this is called science of spirit. Science, today I'm leaving with you all something very important. I don't know, I've told you all before, I don't know how Girish came with the answer just before the end of this, because Girish was in consciousness. So when Girish is in consciousness, he always gives the right answer. So he brought the answer and he said, science of the spirit. But I have told you all this before. Spirituality is not religion. Spirituality is the ability to scientifically evaluate who am I, who is God. For example, God. Who is God here? कौन है भगवान? कौन है भगवान? कहाँ है भगवान? कोई ना जाने ये. Huh? कौन है भगवान? कहाँ है भगवान? You must listen to some of the bhajans. They're very good. भगवान व्यक्ति भगवान है एक शक्ति कोई ना जाने ये. हाँ, हर कण में वो है, हर शय में वो है, कोई जगह नहीं जहां वो नहीं है. These words come from Shiv to me. I don't write these words. These words come like a ting tong. They come, and this is the truth. Aparoksh anubhuti. Aparoksh anubhuti means this is the experience I have got, and I want you all know it. Now you are all having this. For you to get that spark, you need to be scientifically studying the spirit. You need to know you should not blindly listen to me and follow me. Never blindly. That's why you ask questions every day. Why like this? Why not like this? How like this? Don't accept what I say. Argue with me, fight with me. Nobody fights. I'm waiting for you to argue and fight. Nobody's arguing, nobody's fighting. Krishna. Krishna, anything else before we close the call?
Thank you.
Okay. So, my dear friends, we will not drag this call any further. Let me quickly wind up this call. Spirituality is science of spirit. SOS. Bliko gave the term SOS. Science of spirit or science of soul. Spirituality, spelling of spirituality in future is SOS. SOS means science of the spirit or science of the soul. And I want all of you to become scientists. I want you all to become spiritual scientists. I want you to become a soulful scientist. I want you to all the time try to contemplate on even God. How do you attain God? The only way to attain God is called God realization. And the only way to God realization is self-realization. There is no other possibility. If you want God, if you search for God, Prabhu mandir mein nahi hai, Prabhu andar mein hai. Even the Bible says God lives in the temple of your heart. The kingdom of God is within. So I want all of you to take up this as a science. Rekha, question before we close, Rekha.
How to not live like a body?
How to not? By realizing you are not the body. See, that's why I gave Rekha last question. How to live like you are not the body? By realizing that you have a body, but you are not the body. So my dear friends, I'm repeating to you that tomorrow there is no call. Tomorrow I'm having a Rotary talk in Bangalore. So the new people who would like to, so there's no talk 28th at 7:30, but we will have the talk Saturday at 7:30. And the topic is already announced, but I think the topic is there. The topic for this Saturday is why majority of this world is not seeking to be enlightened. So this will be the topic. With folded hands, I bow down to you.